Hello, at this time we're going to be covering the algebra portion of the math section. Now, just exactly what does that entail? As I said in the very beginning of these different modules that you're going to be looking at, I had said that they're not so much interested in how well you did in school, how well you learned a particular concept. They're more interested how you're going to use that information to think. So I want to now just give you some tips about some of the things that they're going to be hitting pretty hard, and you need to really know these basics. One of those basics, as simple as it is, some people, I don't know, through an excess of adrenaline because they're taking a test or their mind goes blank, they may forget it. It's been dubbed the golden rule by the Princeton Review, and that is, what you do to one side of an equation, you have to do to the other side of the equation. So keep that in mind no matter what kind of a problem you're working on, as basic as it is. Never forget that golden rule. Another area that they're going to be hitting is inverse operations. You may or may not remember that. Inverse operations is a way to get rid of coefficients or constants so you can isolate a variable. And they're going to have that where you have to do the opposite operation. So if there was something being multiplied times a variable, you'd want to do the opposite and divide it to eliminate that coefficient in front of the variable. So you're going to have inverse operations. You need to know that. You're also going to have simultaneous equations, but they'll give you a little more of a twist to this. They don't, they know that you know how to line up the variables. They know that you're probably going to know to multiply one set of equations by some number to eliminate a variable and try to solve for the variables. They're going to want to see you do that, but then they want you to take the information and maybe go one step further. And we'll give you some examples of that in one of the modules. Also, in every problem, you should always look for simplification. Sometimes they may just ask you to simplify something. And of course, in that area, you remember combining like terms, watching your signs, factoring when you can factor, that sort of thing. And then you're going to have multiplying binomials. And in that area, you're going to have to recognize some of the more frequent products of binomials. For instance, x squared minus y squared. What are the two binomials that give you that? And we'll be going over that when we talk about multiplying binomials. So these are just some of the highlights. What I want to do now is to go into some of these specific sections and give you some real-life examples of how you should go about answering the questions, not only to give the right answer, but to do it very efficiently.